And then you can just imagine that. I'm standing at the freshly dug grave, if it is freshly dug. But for the sake of my imagination, let's make it freshly dug. I can do what I want. We're imagining it. And let that realization sink in. I couldn't protect this person, the one that I care about most in this world. Welcome to my booth. I'm Jay. We got a great character demo here from Brin, all the way from the Philippines. Thanks for sending this in, Brin. Brin here has been waiting since May for me to get to this. So, if you want me to get to your audio, if you want me to review your audio, send me a form. ASAP will get to everybody eventually. But if you want to hop the queue, accelerate the process, you can check out the booth buddies down below or check out my website for coaching. I'll be able to help you out more quickly there, just for whatever it's worth. Otherwise, thanks for being here. Thanks for clicking the buttons, blah, blah, blah. Brin is looking for feedback on improving performance, improving a character demo, really anything. But one small quick thing before we dive in, Brin. When you sent your audio, it was pretty quiet. Your peaks were at minus 12 dB at most, which is pretty quiet even for just like baseline recording levels in many respects. So I've boosted it. I've normalized everything to minus 3 just to make it easier for everybody to hear. But that's one thing that you can do to improve your samples, improve your auditions, whatever. Take us away.
Oh, you were just curious. Maybe you should have placed that curiosity in science. That would have been nice. Oh, what a scandal. You're a scammer. We've all been tricked. Don't you see it? Everything that's gone wrong, it all points back to one source, one person, and that is him. Oh, come on, sis. He's framing me. I didn't do this.
Okay. I'm pausing because after this moment, we shift into another character. And so I'm gonna break it up into sections to keep my brain on straight. So this character is really cool. I like them a lot. They're shifty somewhat, it feels like. It feels like they might be lying a little bit. It feels like they're just a bit shady. And I think you're pulling that off well. They've got this kind of like, I don't know, smarmy swagger to them a bit, which I dig. You're doing that really, really nicely. The thing that I was going to mention, both with respect to this first person and your second and maybe third character here, I know you said that these were sent in from your dubbing projects, so you're doing really solid work there, and this would be more so if I were directing you in these, what I would be pushing you towards in a way. So if somebody directed you to do some of this stuff, take it with a grain of salt. But this character, love the smarminess, love the sarcasm, love the sort of cynical nature. But the note that I was going to say regarding this guy and the second one is I would love to feel the stakes a bit more completely or a bit more internally or really, I guess. I don't know. But what I mean by that, for those of you who don't know what stakes are, stakes is a term that gets bandied about in acting a lot. If you've been acting for any amount of time, you'll probably have heard somebody say, let's try that again, but raise the stakes. And what that means, or what stakes are, is not necessarily that it has to be life or death, or that the drama of the situation has to expand to extreme degrees, though that may be true, but more so, it just has to mean something to the character. It has to mean more to the individual. The impact on me from what's happening is greater. And again, that doesn't mean that my performance gets bigger. It just means that the things that happen to me have greater import. And with this first person, the line that I think evokes this most, or that helps me to articulate this most precisely, is this last one.
Oh, come on, sis. He's framing me. I didn't do this.
In that line, you're delivering it really, really nicely, and it's interesting, and there's the pause. He's framing me. But in the way you're saying it, it feels, firstly, like they've already lost. I doubt this person's integrity absolutely. And if this is the moment where all the chips are on the table and the only person who knows that they haven't lost is this character, then they've really got to work to convince everybody. And the depth of that need has to really be felt and come across. And right now, I feel like, he's framing me. Come on, trust me. Look at me. The stakes aren't as high as they could be. And so that would be my big note for this first character. If we really, really invest in the fact that your sister knows that you did something shady, and I can't remember what it is.
We've all been tricked. Don't you see it?
Yeah.
Everything that's gone wrong, it all points back to one source, one person, and that is him.
So this is a good line as well, where the stakes are high, but at the same time, you're delivering it really, really well. And I would love to feel more. I don't know the context of the story, but the things that come to mind. Why is it so important for you to convince these people that you're being tricked? And furthermore, that the source was them, that guy. And then I assume that this next line, he's framing me, come on, is that guy. I'm trying to point the blame at that person, whether or not it's true, if it was me or if it actually was them. I'm trying to deflect the blame over there. And the better I'm able to do that, the more I believe that this is true, the more I need to convince you that that person is the target, not me, for whatever reason. And that can go into like character backstory and stuff. But that feeling, I would love for you to just convince me more, I guess, in that sense. So if I were to have you do this, I'd be like, I love the line delivery. I just want to do it again, but really, really convince me. Convince your sister that this guy is the reason for all of the stuff that's happened to us, and it's him, not me. Stop looking, you know what I mean? Let's move on to the second character, because I've got more to say on that front as well. Let's go.
I'm no prince. I'm no commander. Not when my beloved has been buried. I was too late to save you, my love. All I needed was you. I hope you learned how to use a sword. All that paperwork must have dulled your blade. Ha! You took my kingdom! Ugh! You took my love! Your only daughter! Your betrayal! Your treachery! All of it! It ends here! You will be a lesson to everyone.
Lots of high stakes, very high stakes situations going on, and really, really rich given circumstances for us to pull from. For those of you who don't know, given circumstances simply means information that we are presented with in the text that we can pull from. Things that we know for sure. They are circumstances, happenings in this character's life that we are given and can use to inform our performance. So for this character, we know, for one, they don't think of themselves as a prince. They don't have a kingdom. Their true love has died. They were too late to save them. Their true love died for some nefarious means or something potentially. I guess that's not given because we don't know how their true love died, but their true love died. And then we find out that potentially, probably, their father-in-law, the father of their true love, was the one to let their true love pass, and that we come to blows with our father-in-law, who is the usurper, and we get the upper hand and win at the end. So a lot of really rich information that we can glean from this. And all of that helps to inform the stakes for us. And I think my note from before still holds, where you're performing the stakes well. We understand, oh, it's really sad that this person died. It's really hard for me that I'm going through this stuff. I'm going for revenge and I'm going to go hard, and that my rage is total. However, as from my first note, I still do think that the depth and truth of the feeling, sounds very actor woo-woo-y, but it's true that the depth of the feeling, the impact of these events, I don't hear them hitting you as much as I would like. And so that's something that we can drive towards. So for example, this bit.
I'm no prince. I'm no commander. Not when my beloved has been buried.
the things that we can do to draw this more or raise the stakes for ourselves is just to sit with it. And it doesn't have to be, this is something that I would find myself doing a lot, and it resonates in your performance for me. But when I felt that something had to have, when I was starting and somebody would say, raise the stakes, you're not a prince, you're not a commander, and your true love is dead, I would feel as though I needed to tense and say, I'm no prince, I'm no commander, not when my true love is dead. And I would have this tension to it. And that tension, I think, holds, it's less so in your first character, but there's a fair amount of tension through this character overall, which makes sense. He's a tense guy in this situation. But if you can still hold both things at the same time, if you release the bodily tension, release the vocal tension, release the obligation that at least I would feel in this, that I've got to make this sound like I'm really, really sad and fraught. You can just release that and just start thinking about, maybe I'm standing over the grave. And then you can just imagine that. I'm standing at the freshly dug grave, if it is freshly dug. But for the sake of my imagination, let's make it freshly dug. I can do what I want. We're imagining it. There's a freshly dug grave. And my father-in-law has taken my throne from me and allowed my true love to die, to be buried here. And then someone comes up to me and says, my lord, we have to go. My commander, we have to go. The battlefield awaits, or something. And let that realization sink in. I couldn't protect this person, the one that I care about most in this world. I'm no prince. I'm no commander. And the shift in tension there moves to outside of me. And the reality sinks in, and I send it to the person who's asking me this thing. My lord, there's time. We gotta go. No. You don't understand. And anyway, so that's kind of the direction that you can take it in terms of that tension, and more so what I mean in terms of raising the stakes. Sit with stuff. Use your imagination. Take it as far as you can. I hope that's helpful for you. There's more that we could talk about in terms of the production of your character demo. But aside from the character performances, things that I might do, you could add a soundscape if you wanted to. You could have the transitions between scenes be a little bit more clarified. You could have more of a variety of characters in different moments, characters with different vocal presentations, if that's what you want to do, things like that. But overall, really solid performances, my friend. For everybody else, I hope this was helpful for you too. And until the next one of these, be well, and I'll see you there. Toodles.